Hey viewers, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to shoot a little video on Cynthia Rothrock today, American actress and martial artist who did a lot of movies in the 80s and 90s. I was inspired to do this video because I saw a little video on Cynthia Rothrock on a channel called Video Tasties. He does this great shorts on his VHS collection. Always a lot of things to discover when you watch that channel that you haven't seen in many years. So that is cool. If you don't know the channel, please go over there, subscribe. Why not? It's a very cool channel. But he inspired me to do this video. I loved Cynthia Rothrock when I was a kid. I'm from 78. I lived the video store days. And I loved action movies, and first we loved movies by Chuck Norris and Charles Bronson, and later on Van Damme and Seagal would hit the scene. Stallone, of course, Schwarzenegger, all those guys. But yeah, if we couldn't find a movie by any of them, then we had to turn to other martial artists and action stars like Cynthia Rothrock, David Bradley, Michael Dudikoff, Lorenzo Lamas, Billy Blanks, Jalal Mary, Don the Dragon Wilson, and yeah, those movies weren't that good, but we loved them anyways in those days. So I'm gonna show you what's left of my Cynthia Rothrock collection, because I got rid of most of the sell-through tapes. I collect DVDs, Blu-rays and VHS ex-rental tapes. Those tapes are built to last, so I got rid of the sell-through tapes. And I hope you will enjoy the good and the bad. Hong Kong work, very good. US work, the straight-to-video shit is basically shit. I hope you will enjoy. Cut. So if I am correct, then the first movie she did was in Hong Kong, and she did a movie that I love, and it's still my favorite one of hers. It's Police Assassins. Now, this one was released in 1985 and directed by Corey Jun, and this one is known under so many different titles: Police Assassins, Police Assassins Part 2, The Super Cops, Ultra Force 2, In the Line of Duty Part 2, and I think the most famous title is Yes Madam. And this is an incredible action movie starring two female badasses, Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh. The final of this movie, the final battle in this movie, the final fight scene is just incredible. Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock were just amazing in this movie. For some reason, this is the old tape. I think it's a sell-through tape, but it's from 1988, so it's a very old tape. 33-year-old tape. Still plays, this one. And here Michelle Yeoh was marketed as Michelle Khan for some reason. And this is the Hong Kong Legend DVD. I think those were excellent, those DVDs. And yeah, this is an excellent movie. Then in 1986, Cynthia Rothrock had a supporting role together with the Australian male martial artist Richard Norton in Sammo Hung's Shanghai Express, aka Millionaire's Express, which is an incredible movie, this one, with incredible fights and stunts. Here I have the UK VHS tape, which was in widescreen and in the original language, which was pretty cool. And then I bought the Hong Kong Legends DVD. Not gonna upgrade it to Blu-ray. Here you can see Cynthia Rothrock. Cool badass chick. Great one, this one. And then a movie, I think again it was released in 1986. I know the tape is from 1990. It's a movie that is that has some incredible fights, Above the Law, also known as Righting Wrongs, again directed by Corey Jun in 1986. And here she would star opposite Jun Biao, incredible martial artist. And in Holland, again, Jun Biao was promoted as Roy Chow. Don't know why that is, but this is a kick-ass movie. This is the Dragon Dynasty Region 1 DVD. And this is the old Dutch tape. This was again an amazing movie she did. She did 2 other movies that I saw past week that are excellent. The Magic Crystal, again with Richard Norton, and the Inspector Wears Skirts. She's not. She's a supporting actress in that one. Now, that was her Hong Kong work. Those were the best movies. Now, this was a transition movie. As you can see in the frame there is Jean-Claude Van Damme. He did a little movie, No Retreat, No Surrender, again by Corey Jun. And there were 2 sequels that followed, and No Retreat, No Surrender Part 2, Raging Thunder, again directed by Corey Jun. And yeah, she had a supporting role in that one. And this was a collaboration between Hong Kong and the US, and it's an okay movie. It's not as good as the movies that I just showed you, but yeah, I always liked this one as a kid, and I liked the whole series. I also liked No Retreat, No Surrender Part 3, and in the Netherlands, this movie came out as Karate Tiger 2. The sequels to Part 2 and 3 came out under the title Karate Tiger. And yeah, as you can see, she's in here. And yeah, I like this tape. The real star of the movie was Lorne Avedon, by the way, and Matthias Hughes is in it. A great, big, yeah, I think he was a German guy or an Austrian guy, was in a lot of those B-actioners. Then in 1990, these 2 movies came out, 1990, 1991. China O'Brien Part 1 and 2, where she would star as a cop opposite Richard Norton again. And these 2 movies were directed by Robert Klause, who did Enter the Dragon and a movie like Jim Carter, one of my favorite guilty pleasures. And these movies, you know, are pretty weak. Bad acting. Robert Klause was the very good martial arts director, but at least in most of the action scenes, he showed us the action in long shots and wide shots, so you could see the performers actually perform, and you could witness the athletics. But the action scenes are very uninspired, formulaic, and probably the best fights are the fights that Keith Cook delivers, another martial artist. But okay, I loved them when I was a kid, and I'm pretty glad that I still own those tapes. And then 2 movies that were released by Vinegar. These movies came out in 1990 and 1992. Martial Law and Martial Law Part 2 Undercover. The first one is a pretty weak actioner, starring Cynthia Rothrock and Chad McQueen, the son of Steve McQueen. But David Carradine is in it as the bad guy. He has some star power, but he's a wordless screen fighter. David Carradine never understood why he was in Kung Fu in the series, because he's a wordless screen fighter. But okay, it is a little bit watchable, this one, but pretty awful. Uninspired action scenes, a lot of medium shots in it. That's not a good thing to do in a martial arts movie. And the choreography is pretty lame, pretty boring movie. And then the second one, David Carradine is not in the sequel. Cynthia Rothrock stars opposite Jeff Wincott, the older brother of Michael Wincott, a famous actor. And this one is a little bit better, because Jeff Wincott is a better martial artist than Chad McQueen, in my opinion. But it's still not a very good movie. This isn't Jeff Wincott, by the way. It's bad artwork. But I do own the original VHS X rental tapes. And this is Jeff Wincott. And I think Billy Drago is in this one. Yeah, Billy Drago is in the second one. But to be honest, these movies aren't really worth your money. Vinegar Syndrome are releasing these kind of movies. I think they released Tiger Claws, the trilogy, and martial law movies, and TC 2000. They're all pretty weak. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. They're pretty weak movies. And basically, Vinegar Syndrome, and that is my problem with Vinegar Syndrome. They are basically releasing the trash from my youth and pimping the packages, selling you on these packages new artwork, a poster, a commentary track, and 10% of the people who are gonna buy it are people like me that grew up on this stuff and they want to revisit it. But the other 90% aren't gonna buy these movies for the great artwork, and these movies aren't worth your money. The two tapes plus the two DVDs that I bought, together I bought them for €5. Yeah, they're not worth anything more. But okay, that was Martial Law. Then another weak actioner Cynthia Rothrock did, Triple Cross, 1990. Haven't rewatched it recently. Then a movie that is pretty famous because Bolo Young was in it, and that's Tiger Claws. And this is another movie I rewatched a couple of days ago. It is incredibly weak movie, let's be honest. It's great that Bolo Young stars in it, and he doesn't have many lines, and he's menacing, the way he's built, that's cool. But the storyline is pretty weak, the action scenes are pretty weak, and there is this guy, Jalal Mary is the actor. He is such a bad actor. He was in a lot of these movies like Talons of the Eagle and Fearless Tiger and TC 2000. That guy can't act. And yeah, basically I kept this sell-through tape because Bolo Young is in it, and I always liked Bolo Young. Even Bolo Young makes this movie a little bit watchable. That's my honest opinion about this. Tiger Claws. Don't own the second one. Have seen it, of course, and I never saw the third one because that one came out in the 2000s, and then I wasn't watching this kind of crap anymore, to be honest. This one is Angel of Fury. I really like the tape, the artwork. It stars Cynthia Rothrock, Billy Drago, and Sam Jones, who was in Flash Gordon, of course. This one was released in 1993, directed by David Wirth, who did Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme. But again, this is a pretty weak movie, and in the rest of the world, this movie came out as Lady Dragon Part 2. I sold the first one, I'm pretty sure of that, but this is actually Lady Dragon Part 2. Because Triple Cross, this one came out in the rest of the world as Angel of Fury for some reason. Yeah, confusing, but it is what it is. Yeah. Then Fast Getaway Part 2, follow-up to Fast Getaway, 2 movies that Cynthia Rothrock did with teen idol Corey Haim from the Lost Boys, of course, and Lucas. And these were passable but pretty weak movies again. The first one I sold on sell-through tape or gave away, I don't know, got rid of it. But yeah, this one, yeah, probably will be released by a company like Vinegar, and it's not very good again. And then 2 movies, last but not least, no, not last but not least, because I haven't watched them. Checkmate was a movie that was released in the rest of the world as Deep Cover, and it was released in 1997, and I wasn't watching those movies. In 1997 I would turn 19, I think, so I wasn't watching these kind of movies anymore, these straight-to-video actioners. But yeah, I own it, and this is a movie I picked up for 50 cents. She did in 2001. Haven't watched it. Outside the Law, also known as Never Say Die. Oh, that was the camera. But yeah, so I loved Cynthia Rothrock when I was young. Nowadays I only like her Hong Kong work, and she did some great action scenes in those Hong Kong movies. My advice would be, if you never heard of Cynthia Rothrock, don't buy Tiger Claws and don't buy Martial Law. Those are pretty weak actioners. Like, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme did some decent actioners. He also did some bad ones. I think China O'Brien or Martial Law you could compare with the worst work of Van Damme. That's my opinion on it. But Police Assassins, Righting Wrongs, Magic Crystal, that kind of stuff is amazing. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. Take care.